Happy Friday, everyone. Today is the day, I should call this Happy Illuminati Friday. So today is the day that we talk about the Illuminati. Who is the Illuminati? Who are the Illuminati? These are the questions. Now, technically, the I at the end represents plural. So, grammatically, if I said who are the Illuminati, I'm talking about a group of people. If I say who is the Illuminati, it starts to ask a better question. And so I go back and forth with that. Well, as I said, what I did is I worked with my viewers. I asked you guys who you think the Illuminati is or who they are. I asked you to dig deep into your own personal work. I asked you to meditate. I asked you to see things, and I was going to give you the credit for what you answered. So right here on my little pad here, I have the answers that I asked for. So what I'm going to do is start in order and read them. And then, of course, I'm going to give you my perspective. The reason why I asked everyone to participate, because I want all of you who come across this video to actually see what it looks like for people to do work. It doesn't mean that happened in these emails, but at least by the end of this video, we'll understand how to do the work and what it means. All right. So for the most part, people throw out Illuminati a lot. The reason why I asked this question is because I was doing a video and someone threw out the reason for all of these things is the Illuminati. And I've gotten sick and tired of hearing the Illuminati for all things that people don't understand, for all things that people want to create a reason for. It's always the Illuminati because you saw a YouTube video somewhere where they talked about the Illuminati, the secret society that rules the world, and the banks and the Rothschilds and all this sort of stuff. But none of you guys have ever met a Rothschild, and you don't know what they do in their personal time. But somehow, you know everything about the Illuminati and how it's the blame for everything. So I decided to say, okay, well, I want you guys to really dig deep and find out who they are. I want you to have a personal relationship with the Illuminati. And that's what I was really calling you for. So let's go to the first answer and let's see what I got here. All right. So this one is from a Keith Nova. All right. And it says, once you have enlightening, now we're not going to, this could have just been a typo, enlightening yourself, because you become the illuminated, you become illumined. It's like raising your vibration, shining your aura. So interesting take. Keith decided to go the route of just taking the definition of the word and saying that as you grow and mature spiritually, I'm guessing, enlightening yourself, you become the illumined, you become the Illuminati. Interesting, you become a part of this group, the Illuminati, that everyone is somehow afraid of, that mysteriously does all these wild things and controls the world and controls the matrix as we know it. So interesting. So then I asked him, and he did not respond. Great. My question would be, what enlightens you? All right, he didn't respond to that, everyone. Aww. All right, so let me go to the next one. We have Ivana Hodak, which is a loyal viewer of mine, so shout out to Ivana. I'm very familiar with her. So it says, hi, I just listened to your last video on YouTube where you told us to ask those questions. I believe that Illuminati, she says she believes, believe is a very important word. I believe that Illuminati are people who have reached full enlightenment in this physical bodies. And about darkness being the aspect of feminine, I would say it's because the nature of women is mystical and secretive. But the real question I asked was here. Ivana says, I believe that Illuminati are people who have reached full enlightenment in this physical body. So that's what they say. I believe. This is not knowing. There's no evidence of personal work here. According to this particular email, it's just a belief. A belief. Once again, we're taking the word of Illuminati. We think it's a group. We know the plural, so there's a group of enlightened ones. All right. What does enlightenment, what does it mean to be enlightened? I'm wondering to people who have said this. I'm not saying I don't know what it means to be enlightened, but I'm wondering what it means to other people. Hey, that could be another video. All right. Let's see what we have here. We are the Illuminati. So Real Music Lover simply says, we are the Illuminati. But you guys, let's not leave it there because he does have more to say and we'll get back to him later. So this was his first kind of expression of it. We are the Illuminati. All right, I'm with that. Who is we? Who is we in this situation? Is it all of us? Is it the guy down the street? It's we are the Illuminati. Very interesting. All right, and then we have, it says recharge wreck. That's how I'm going to say this because, I don't know. Now, this was a novel, all right, but let's see what we can do here. Peace and blessings, my dear beloved sister. I would like to reply to the request in which you asked of concerning the history of the Illuminati. The Illuminati are a group of select individuals who are descendants of a people who became learnt. They were taught an elementary grade level of the mystic and Masonic knowledge to raise them from an ignorant state of savagery. This was so that they could build a civilization for themselves. They only have 30% of the ancient knowledge, 30% exactly, everyone, sorry. 30% of the ancient knowledge because any more than that, they wouldn't be able to comprehend. The Illuminati mean enlightened ones. What makes the enlightened is because the basic knowledge they operate with is actually a degree of education that common people knew in ancient times. So there's a big thing about ancient times in that these people were previously stupid and they got a little bit of information. All right? Isn't this much of what life is? Why would we presume to know everything? Think about the study of dark energy and dark matter, and that we are just a small percentage of what existence is and what matter is in this physical aspect. And then dark matter is this infinite thing that no one can even measure. But okay, this guy has a measurement and it's 30%. All right, let's get back to this wonderful moment here. The ancient people practiced being gods and goddesses. They only practice, isn't that everyone does now with the whole Jesus concept? People consider Jesus to be God and they want to be like Jesus. So people are practicing as well, and as well as our Oshuns and our Neptis and all these people out here who renamed themselves. So everyone's practicing even now. So ancient future, I like that. I don't think he made that connection here, but I'm making it right now. Okay, although that was their nature and they knew masonry as their arts and crafts, as master builders, scientists, chemists, mathematicians, etc. All right, this was taught in a small portion to the descendants of the Illuminati. Their spiritual practice as Masons in the orders of the Illuminati is Islam, which they use the Quran in their ceremonies. Now, the mulatto Arabs were also given 30%, only 30%, everyone. Once again, 30% has come up, a spirituality to raise them from their state of ignorance. Jahiliyyah, he says, ill repute, that was the state they were in. So basically, narrowing down a history of a group of elementary occult people in short terms, the Illuminati are nothing but a select group of individuals with a common knowledge of esoteric substance who just so happen to place themselves in key positions in a system which they built and designed according to the basic fundamental teaching of ancient practices to fit their coexistence. They are only manufacturers of a matrix that truly has no power because the modern descendants of the original and ancient ancestors do not know who they truly are. Thank you very much for the opportunity to share this knowledge. Peace, sister. May you continue to be used. I ain't being used by a damn thing. The divine spirit to uplift and enlighten your fellow brothers and sisters so that they can be empowered to free themselves from this artificial matrix. See, now, I asked for personal work. This sounds like personal regurgitation. But because 30% was used in that way, it almost gives you the feeling as if this person might have come up with this just because there's a specific number involved. But this is what almost any of us can find. And he just wrote it in a nice, long, elongated way to make us, I guess, feel a certain way. Maybe Mia feels. I don't feel a certain way. What I feel is that this is another interesting thing. I'm going to say this now. So as I read these, I'm going to give you my interpretation or what I know to be true. The thing is this: if you really, truly think this about this Illuminati, I just hope that he thinks he's one of them. That's what I hope, and I think he's saying that in the sense of the true ancient ancestors, because I have a feeling that's probably people of color, black people, especially since I saw mulatto Arabs. Race has never come into this factor here at all, so that's interesting. Usually I see a lot of Europeans, when it comes to the Illuminati, I often see the idea of Europeans being involved, but that's not here, so that's actually kind of fascinating. But this is what Recharge Rec has offered for us today. So let's thank him. And I'm sure that, I'm not going to say this isn't true, but we have to begin to look deeper here, and we're going to as we continue on this journey of the Illuminati. All right. When you put that out there in your mind, I wonder who you are in this scenario. That's all I'm asking. When you put that out there, who are you in that scenario? Are you a part of this great group? All right. So let's see. So we have Veda. And Veda says she watched, and she's wondering if it would be an even better experiment to find out or how to eliminate the control and influence of the Illuminati rather than do so much work finding out who they are. Whew. And so I thought this was interesting, because I thought to myself, so then you're already giving this imagined group that you don't know who they are power and control over your life. That's amazing to me. So you're like, well, you know what? They have this control and power over my life. And so let me figure out how to have this battle. Now you're creating a battle, something that has power and control over your life. And let me create this battle. Let me have this battle. Instead of saying, let me find out who I'm waging this war with. And I did ask that question. I said, but who are they? It's not hard to find out. And that's it. I never got a response after that. That was Veda. There was more that she wrote, but it was just, I pretty much summed it up. I summarized things, people. Okay, so now we have a Carly here. It says the Illuminati isn't necessarily a group that convenes and is known to keep a set of organizational doctrines, but it is a tribe. Now we're using new words. It is a tribe made up of individual metaphysical thinkers that bring the light of one truth, a truth that was once hidden in darkness from all that need the truth to live through this physical journey as an enlightened spirit. Being enlightened, though, means you have been filled with a light. See, remember I asked what enlightenment was, so this is good. Being enlightened, though, means you have been filled with a light brought by the path the Illuminati is on. Simply being enlightened doesn't make you a part of an Illuminati tribe. And an Illuminati is one that has been especially illuminated for the purpose of standing on the path of truth without deviation or distraction, and with the pure intention of facilitating connections to pure love. This is romantic, you guys. With their love being and light projecting the earth further up ahead for those that are following from the dark, they have been a beam that guides others to follow the path back to oneness. They stand on one path like guideposts, like greeters on the path, guiding and teaching, encouraging, motioning the way to the rest of the path. The Illuminati is a label to describe the collective one and their journey and purpose for the spiritual freedom of spiritual kind. If this is not the most beautiful situation here when it comes to talking about the Illuminati, well, you know what? I just don't know what is. So this person has essentially made the Illuminati just a beautiful group of illumined beings who are paving the way for spiritual kind, not mankind. So this was an interesting one for me, because and I'm just letting this sit here, because I'll tell you why this was interesting, in the sense that we went back to the one where they're controlling a matrix, and this one's saying, no, not at all. You can be illumined too. You can be a part of it, but just because you're being enlightened, it doesn't mean you're a part of it. So there is a distinction that she's making from the Illuminati, that it's almost like a special group of people who are so pure in their path that you can only look to them as almost guideposts, and maybe they will illumine or lighten the way that you can follow and to walk a beautiful, enlightened path that will eventually guide you to spiritual freedom. Whatever. This right here, I don't really see the sense of personal work here, but at the same time, yes, because you know what, I can't say that, because according to almost every other little thing out there about the Illuminati, this is the one where it seemed like someone actually decided to make their own definition and run with it. And I actually like this one. If I'm liking things today, I would thumbs up this in the sense that it's like, okay, well, fine. If this right here seems to not really burden this person, they are lightened by it, they are enlightened by it, and they're not allowing this concept to control them. And essentially they say this Illuminati, this group, the Illuminati that everyone else is so afraid of, will actually help bring people to a spiritual freedom. So okay, I'm down. You know what, I feel like that was evidence of work. So you guys should rewind that part and just read that again. All right, so then one of my faves, we have Poppin' Poppy. If you guys watch the live streams, one of my regular people. When I say everyone's name, I say this one a lot. She actually sent me a video. Says this short video is how I can best convey my thoughts on who the Illuminati really is. I don't give credence to the nefarious, whether political entertainers or the 1% rich family. So she's saying, I'm not into the whole rich family situation, something else. So the video she sent me was about Ethereans, and it was kind of really many ways in the vein of the previous post, and that it was more about, I guess, becoming enlightened and not so much being focused on the control aspect. Okay? All right, so now remember I told you Real Music Lover comes back into play? Well, he came back, you guys. He came back. And this was very long. So let me see if I can summarize and maybe find some of the key points. And let's see. He doesn't trust what he reads. So he decided he was going to use his intuition, because I questioned it. I questioned the R part. I'm like, I'm trying to get you guys to look deep into what this term means for you personally. That's why I asked, what does this term mean for you personally? So when I read that previous passage from Carly in response, that sounded more like what it meant to her personally. And if that's what that means to her personally, she's not going to be as tortured as you possibly could be. We are constantly being traumatized, I will say this, traumatized by images and concepts and thoughts consistently. And I've been doing a lot of work to release that. And when I see it in my dreams, I'm starting to see the layer upon layer upon layer upon layer of ways that we are traumatized, whether it's through constant stuff about race and racism, whether it's there's constant things that we're being traumatized, even though we're not even living the experiences. Just the thoughts of it can essentially pervade the mind. So when I ask people to look into the Illuminati for what, from a personal situation, I'm looking to see you redefine things for yourself, or define things from yourself in a way that works, or acknowledge where you have been essentially overlaid with this concept that may not be working for you. And that was the point of using your intuition and looking deep within yourself. So, so he went in for a while talking about Freemasons, more science, and the kind of history of it, rituals, high magic, low magic. This is all here, you guys. Hebrew and Greek Hermeticism. So essentially what he's showing me, that he's read a lot and he's studied a lot, and he's probably looked for a lot of different information, but he decided he's gonna go deeper into it. So we're gonna come back to him, and we're gonna come back to him and see where he went, all right? Because he did not stop, so I'm just going to come back. That was a long post, but I know he wrote another one, so I'm not going to read the long one. But it was a journey that he took, so I think that's really important. All right, so now we have a Jasmine, and actually, Miscellaneous AB, and here we go. It says, I read somewhere that the Illuminati are the illuminated ones. So after that particular quote stuck in my head, I decided to ponder on that and cease reading. She did some work. All right. The real Illuminati are the ones that are enlightened. She has lightened in all caps, the light part actually. They are souls connected to the spiritual realm here in the physical 3D realm. They bring forth new in the sense of forgotten knowledge from the cosmos and the heavens. I believe the Illuminati can be anything or anyone that is consciously connected to source. My further research has me a bit cautious on commenting on light versus dark, but Illuminati could actually be light bearers. I don't know, but this is what was in my mind and in my heart. Miscellaneous, you did your work. And I am so thankful for you doing your work. I'm thankful that you decided to dig deep and not get so caught up on the stories. Because what's associated with the Illuminati, the term when people throw it out there, is fear. A lot of fear of a simple word. And so here you are and you did your work. I mean, this was beautiful. This kind of comes back to the previous post I think made by Carly. And then we look at what Pop and Poppy offered. And then we look at here with miscellaneous, you did your work. And this is the key. I don't know. Meaning, I like what you said. When you say I don't know, you actually release yourself from being so caught up in your mind. You say, but this is what was in my mind and heart. Hallelujah. Holla magic. There we are right there. I haven't even said that in a while, but there you go. You brought it out of me. So there we are with miscellaneous. There you go. All right. All right, we're going to keep going here. All right. Now we have a Jamar here. And he said, you know, kind of what we've heard already. Who are the Illuminati? I am. You are. We are the Illuminati. To be the illuminated means tapping into that divine darkness within and birthing the light. I know I had to dramatize this because he likes to write. The creative manifestation of our soul's mission. We know that we are the creators, masters of our own reality and destiny. All right, I hope he did the work for that one, but it's a cool response. I just hope that's personal work, a personal realization. There's a difference when you study something and you hear it and you regurgitate it, or when you actually have realized it for yourself. So I hope that was done from work, because that was a really nice statement. All right, so okay. Now we have Real Music Lover. I asked myself who I've told you he came back. Real Music Lover came back, y'all. So I just want to say this. And this was fascinating. I mean, what an evolution here. I've asked myself who are the Illuminati, and look at things from the aspect of who controls without dominating. Now that's a question right there. So he asked himself, who controls without dominating? Dang. That would imply influence. I would say that would be female, human and non-human alike. I'm just leaving that there. I don't even feel like I need to say more there. Because when I read that sounded like personal work. That was personal work right there. So that, all I can say there, that brings you to say, shouldn't we tap into our dark side even more? Tapping into that divine feminine, tapping into, ooh, man, where can that take you? I mean, I got chills even saying it. I think it's why I wore black today, to talk about the illumined. I don't make any mistakes. All right, at least not here. All right, here we go. The Illuminati is an energetical being made up of a collaboration of different energies that have a common direction and goal. All right, that's what Shamrock offered us. Not bad. I mean, okay. I mean, that's what ants do. That's what ants do. I mean, that is what ants do. You should study ants. Okay. So now we're going to go to, Kim, someone who I've worked with before, and I really like that. So this person has been doing a lot of work, so I'm going to kind of like pass through some of this. But she did say she enjoyed the video, so she wanted to say this. I don't know much about the Illuminati, although I have heard the term tossed around a bit. Thank you for saying tossed, because it's just tossed around. However, in looking at the word, I'm a bit puzzled. I associate the word illuminate with glowing, light, shining. So illuminate speaks to hidden darkness. Now, woo. Now, this is not necessarily bad, because I'm currently focusing on my inner darkness, dark matter, source, etc., connection to my higher self. I am familiar with secret societies and have learned of many orders and secret societies that mirror secret societies of ancient Egypt, but it seems the media chooses to associate the Illuminati with monetary wealth or abundance, those that have financial power to make worldly decisions. But when the physical body dies, what does financial power mean? I do not personally know anyone whom the media associates with the Illuminati, so I'm not aware of their spiritual connection with Source. She's honest here. She doesn't know these people. She's never met them. She doesn't know what they're into, and she doesn't know what their connection is with Source or the higher self. But the term Illuminati appears to me as a delusion, an attempt to keep the masses of people in physical darkness limited to worldly abundance. And I like what she said here. She's saying that that word essentially keeps people in physical darkness, because no one seeks to look at the word as wonderfully as she did. And I'm glad that she did. Illuminate, glowing light and shiny. But illuminate, she's saying hidden, darkness. Now let's get back to Real Music Lover and what he said. Ooh, I'm getting chills, everyone. I mean, I don't know if you can see that, but my hair is just standing on top of, woo! Everything from head to toe, I have chills. Now we're digging deep. See, this is why we had to talk about it, the misinterpretation. All right, now we're going to go to a Babette. All right, the Illuminati is a word that holds a meaning ascribed to someone by its user. It can be negative or positive. It is similar to the word occult. The illumined or the Illuminati are aware of the energy that we all are. They use this. Now, this is the only problem I have here. There's a they here. They use this knowledge in their lives to create and navigate their life journey. This knowledge can also be used to affect others as well. Well, we all do that. Everything we do, whether we know it or not, we're affecting other people. So it's weird to say they. Okay, that's a collective thing that we all do. If I decide that I don't want to go to the store tomorrow when I could have gone today, or if I decide I want to go to the store and hurry up and get something early and get the last bit of Cheetos, there's someone who won't be able to get Cheetos because maybe they don't come in stock the next day. Now their child's having a meltdown. I mean, little things can affect the way we all live our lives. So we have to acknowledge that we are all connected in that sense. But what I like what she's done is connected the word occult here to the Illuminati. And we go back to the previous post of realizing that connection between hidden and darkness. And realizing that it's neither good or bad. We're just recognizing aspects, right? And she's even said that. It's a word that holds a meaning ascribed to someone by its user. So whoever's using that word, whoever's using that word, it really decides what it's going to be, right? Because remember, we go back to the earlier post and we hear this group, you know, controlling. Remember, there was all that knowledge. Then we have that Carly person who comes in and says, this is a group of people lighting the way of spiritual freedom, right? Remember that. Do we remember this evolution that we're going through? Because I'm actually reading these emails as they have come closer. Because each week, you know, I've gone a little harder on everyone. And the messages actually reflect that. So very interesting. All right. So now we're going to go to Mansour. And we might hear that name a lot too if you watch my live feed. So this is a regular viewer. And thank you for participating. He's saying, peace, queen. Don't you guys always love that? Peace, queen. Peace, goddess. Yes. All right. So Mansour's here. And as far as we went just now on this journey In a way, we kind of go back, but that's okay because it's important that we do this. All right, so Mansour is here and he tells me, I hope this message reaches you in the best of health, spirit, and mind. Well, thank you. I feel wonderful. I appreciate that. At this point in my journey, I couldn't care less who the Illuminati is, because I know that who I am and who we are encompasses all that is and all that is not. I'm going to stop you right there. If that is true, then you've already answered my question, who the Illuminati is. Because if you could have just left it right there. Because if you know who you are and who we are encompasses all that is and all that is not, there's nothing more to say. But you did have more to say, and I have to read it. All right. At the same time, I do understand the importance of collectively expounding upon such an ambiguous topic in the terms of shifting the narrative and expanding our spiritual work. Well, hey, that's why I'm making the video. You know, we're doing this together. From your last video on Monday, I can tell that you do not want answers involving Rothschilds, corporate banking, etc. Intuitively, the Illuminati is how we justify the darker aspects of, and he says intuitively, meaning I've done my work. Thank you. The Illuminati is how we justify the darker aspects of human nature as a whole, particularly, I always have a hard time saying that word, amongst the section of society which has transcended religious dogma. So as children, it was the boogeyman. Religiously, it was the devil. And today, it's the Illuminati. Perhaps the Illuminati is Set from Kemet, or maybe Amun. The number 3 can mean blue in my mind, if the thought is cultivated, especially collectively. That's kind of what I meant by the Illuminati is whatever we think it is. And then he ends with word is bond. Well, I like the way you ended that because I feel like this says the whole thing. So when I asked myself this personally years ago, and thank you all for participating in this, and I think it's going to help a lot of people who come across this. When I asked myself this personally years ago, who is the Illuminati? What is the Illuminati? Because remember, I did all that. I saw all of the information. I mean, I read books about reptilian shapeshifters. I learned all about the banks and the control of the banks. I saw Kambalion. I saw all the different documentaries. I read books this thick and, you know, all of that. And none of it resonated with me. It didn't, I mean, this was a simple word. And so I decided to do my own little meditation and research. Who is the Illuminati? So I saw it for myself, and what I saw was this. I saw one layer of just life, you know, everyday life, and then I started to see another layer upon that of kind of the aspects that help everyday life be, you know, facilitate. Then I saw another layer on that, who helps that actually happen, and then it became like a pyramid. And then by the time I got to the top of that, guess who was there? Would you believe it? You're looking at her. And that answered a lot for me. I understood that we make all this stuff whatever we think it is. And the way we put these things out to ourselves, whether it's Illuminati, whatever it is, we can be the ones that decide what they are. Now, is there a secret society out there? There's many secret societies. I have a secret society within my own little world. There are many secret societies. People like to have secrets. On Facebook, you have all these secret groups on Facebook where people do all kinds of weird things. Secret groups meaning no one can see what's going on in that group. So secret societies isn't new, isn't profound. There are many secret societies. There isn't just one. And so many, whatever happens in those groups, people go out there and influence the world with the way they're empowered within that group. Okay, so that's always going to exist. But what you control, and that's the thing, we can't say we control our lives. And what you control is always going to be up to you and what you see and what you decide to take control of and clear out of your life. I mentioned earlier the idea that we are consistently being traumatized and being programmed with things. And so, of course, in that layering and layering and layering of information, our world can be kind of closed in and shifted. And that is what you call the matrix. But if you release that, and you release it and open up and realize you were controlling your life, it'll be very easy to see who you are in all of this. Illuminati, in this sense, can just be a word, and you can be that. You can be what Carly described, you know, that group of people. I'm not saying everyone can be it. You can be whatever you want, and the Illuminati is whoever you want it to be. And if you're not interested in being some random person that you've never met and know nothing about, then don't let it be. It's up to you. And all these people who have done their work today, and what I asked them to do is really dig deep and do their own work. These are the answers that you got. So anyone who ever has that question again, I implore you, please do the work for yourself. Don't let anyone tell you what certain things are. Do the work for yourself. When I had my own understanding of it, every time I hear anything about a Jay-Z or a Beyonce being the Illuminati or the music industry and all that ridiculous stuff, it just makes me chuckle inside. Because why in the world would you give these people who you have never met that much control over your life by simply giving them that power? Why would you do that? Because that is what you're doing. You're giving them a power that they don't ever have to have in your life. You want to know there are people out there in this world who don't know who a Jay-Z or Beyonce is, who are just living their lives. There are people who exist who don't have a clue. Think about that and think about what that means. You can be the programmer and you can decide what these terms are, and you're the one that makes a decision of what the Illuminati is. So there you go. I hope that answers everyone's questions. I hope that brings a greater sense of enlightenment upon you. And I also want you guys to dig deep into what was shared here, and I think has opened up a whole path. And that was digging deep into your hidden self, your darkness, looking into your feminine side. That right there. And someone said, Jamar, talked about birthing light from darkness. That right there, to me, is where the true fire and answer is there. Dig deep and ask yourself questions along that line and see what it means as you are shaping and controlling and programming your life, and seeing the power that has to shape and control and affect your life and the life of others. See what that truly means, digging deep into what dark matter is, dark energy is, digging deep into your hidden self. From darkness comes light. All right. Happy, happy, happy Friday, and hallelujah, holla magic. Magic. And if you like this video, please like, thumbs up, subscribe, ding the notification bell, and share and tell your friends. They all might need this, especially those ones who are plagued by the way the Illuminati is controlling their lives.